to do this morning. You're joining me in the car. There is a little stretch of highway from where I live to where my parents live, and a pretty calming drive. So I've got the ear pods in, the babies are sleeping, and I have felt like I needed or wanted to get on here and just speak to a couple things. So as we start, let's take a breath. Let's take a breath together and let it go. There is so much happening out there in the collective, and in everybody's lives individually. I know that it's been really amazing on my end. I can only speak from my experience, but really amazing to be in a space where I can just kind of observe a lot of what's happening and run it through my own practices and processes and things that I've built over the last decade internally, just to get some really resonant and profound insights on this time that hopefully will help someone out there, my women that I'm walking with, linking arms with. This really is for you, because I have been just a couple reach outs here and there of women in this web who are taking an energetic stance out there in your families, and my friends that have reached out desiring dialogue around this. This is what I can do for now. I'm sure there will be a lot I'll be wanting to discuss at all of the retreats this year. I don't know, in certain environments. Not all the retreats we're going to be super deep diving, but some of y'all are ready to dive deep, and whether or not somebody's ready doesn't matter at this time, because the collective is going deep into the shadow with everything that's being brought to light. I've never needed to speak to specific things that are going on. I've just never aligned with that. It's never felt good to pour directly into the individual things that are happening, because most of the things going on in the collective, the division, the injustice, just the awful things that are being shown on any type of mainstream platform, those are still filtered through the lens of the body of beings that are being exposed. Okay? So the body of beings that are being exposed, pieces of them that are being exposed. I don't know that the whole narrative is being given. I actually don't think the whole piece is being given, because they can't. And most people wouldn't be able to handle the full picture. So it's dark. It's heavy. It's awful. It's things that pure beings, and that's me and you guys, okay? Pure beings. It's things that we couldn't even imagine being a part of or doing or witnessing, or even that it's real. It's like, it's so hard to imagine that it's real, because it's so far from how you would operate in the world, and yet it is happening. It is happening. And to me, because this is a weight that I had been carrying for maybe 6 years now, that I've known the inversion at the level at which it's happening. Okay, so the pandemic really made me dive in and really want to learn. And what's been nice about my journey in spirituality and energetics and the space I've really been intentional about setting up in all of my work is that I never resonated with like having a guru around any of these things. And I've never wanted to be anybody's guru. I've never wanted to be like, ooh, this woman in power around this. And I've never really felt called to follow anyone, quote unquote, in power. And I think that has really served me. It can really serve you as you go forth, because one of the main ways that this hungry darkness that takes over and has taken over and has run, and it runs all of the major systems on the planet, it works off of the inversion of power and the inversion of attention. And inversion is just a frequency band, just like we are literally emitting wavelengths, radio wavelength signals that can be measured off of your body. Our heart and our mind give them off, and our body cells give them off too. So we're just these like big conductors of energy, and your energy is so powerful. What you give your attention to, what you emit, what you put out there. And even when we think we are fighting for a just cause, if we're fighting, if we're judging, if we're shooting all over people, it's still a downward spiral frequency, because it separates us. And I had to learn that in such a hard, heartbreaking way with my sister, who, if you know any part of my story, maybe you know that, my little sister, she was just the most incredible being, just hilarious, awesome, amazing, powerful, kind, beautiful, and her path was, like many of us, sprinkled with hungry darkness and shadow that ended up taking over her body. And she died. She died at 30 years young. She went so far deep into being treated by the medical system that was created by these beings that are causing harm. So I had to watch one of the people that I love the most perish and wither away under this system while I was screaming on the inside. There is another way. There's another way. There's another way to approach this, see this, show up for this, be held in this. But I was just so righteous in my knowing that I created a wedge between us, that after she was gone, after she passed in 2023, that I had to spend a lot of time detangling that from my experience. And so we can go at these things with what we think is a pure intention, but if we're trying to oppress or impress our knowing on someone, then we're doing the same kind of harm. Damn it. So as we all go forth, okay, as you and I go forth, and I'm saying all of that to say overarching that I am truly excited about being alive in these times, because my journey has led me to an internal knowing. Because, right, your resonance and your discernment is what gets cultivated if you go along this path in a certain way. So I just happen to really feel like we are going to witness, and there is going to be just a full crumbling of certain ways in which we've seen things go about on this planet. And that birth is painful. Birthing new worlds, like, I know they say you can have an ecstatic birth, but this bitch did not have that, okay? Birth is painful. There's pain. There's pain involved in creating and generating and new realities forming. And it has to change. The time is up. The education system, baloney. The medical system, stupid. Failing everyone. Healthcare, money, and all of it. And what's awesome is to know, like, oh wow, all of it has been set up by these entities that have to survive by causing harm. That's it. And some of us are so ready to share and serve and work and grow and manifest and be in these roles in which we are taking on more responsibility. That's me. I am ready. I'm ready because I know that we will not invert any power like it's been done. Pretty much, I don't know if it's all the power, but that's why, I go down a certain spiritual path and I'd be like, oh, the founder of this was an adulterer or a lying piece of shit. And it's like, wait a second. Why is it that all of these beings that rose into influence and power, especially in the spiritual and energetic realm, were actually like not doing good, or they're not good at their core? Well, maybe they were at their core, but frequency in this hungry darkness that can take over someone, it can happen very slowly until all of a sudden someone's operating system is not even theirs anymore. So your mind is your greatest weapon. Your heart is your greatest weapon. Your body, your family, your fortress, the way in which you move about your day. Turn down the dials of distractions, my friends, because we need you now more than ever. Sure that you can trust yourself. Sure that you are good, because you are. And whatever has happened that makes you think that you're not, I need you to do some work on clearing that. And there's never been a better time. There's never been a better time. You don't have to be perfect at it, but you do have to be willing to admit when you can do better, when you have some shit to look at, when your intentions may be a little whack. You got to be willing to look at all of those things and do what it takes to create harmony around you and within you, because that vibration is what is starting to naturally rise in these times. And I'm only noticing it as, it's so funny because I've just intentionally pulled back. Like pre-pandemic Danielle would be on my social media saying all this shit about what's happening that not everybody's ready to hear. Not everybody's ready to hear what I'm telling you today. And that's why I need to just put it on the podcast when I can. And then I'm going to go back into my life, playing with my children, hanging with my husband, snacking, keeping it real. We get to be alive in some of the most wildly dualistic times, and I do think it has a purpose and direction. And you will know what that is for you. Okay? You will know. I think that's all I can say about it today. I'm always here, as much as I can be, to dialogue about these things. It only takes one in every family, and you are that one. You are Neo. You are Ready Player One. You hold the chess pieces, and that's so exciting. And I'm committed to continuing to find ways for us to sit our asses down, breathe into our bodies, clear these timelines, hold the space, keep it silly, make it playful, because that's what the children are showing us. And all of the harm that's being caused that you are finding out about, it will stop. It will stop as you stop causing harm in your world. That's it. Love you guys. There are so many things coming. Make sure, if you are interested in any type of space holding, leadership, trailblazing energy in your family line, that you're plugged into Illumination Wellness, Illumination Women, because that's where, when I can work, I'll be showing up there. About to launch some Indiana things, some yoga teacher trainings, because most of my focus is going in person. Breathe Retreat 2026 will be happening at the Horse Ranch. We're infusing the horses this time. So everything's ready if you already know where to find Breathe Retreat info, but I'll be launching that officially soon. It'll be the end of April. Horse medicine, women medicine, us sitting together, playing, practicing that medicine. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you can come sit with us. And so many wizards in the Wellness Professionals Network on the illuminationwellness.co website. If you need someone to walk with you, healing, therapy, okay, there's therapists on there now, nutrition, herbs, tap into that network, manifestation, astrology. Do what needs to be done so that you have the support, so that you can blaze forward, because you, my friend, are meant to blaze, okay? I love you. I love you. I'm going to turn this off now. Let's take a big breath in. And let's let it go.